What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 in this video here today. I just wanted to do a video really quick addressing the Leslie Macher theories, leaks, whatever you want to call them at this point. Some of you are calling them theories, others of you are calling them leaks, depending on where you've seen this stuff at. One in particular I'm going to address at the top because the other theory is much better. If you don't want any spoilers of any kind, kick rocks. You should know better at this point. For those of you who read the title and decided to watch, let's get into it. One theory with Leslie I've seen from a few people is that Anna Camp is going to be revealed as Stu's real sister, which means Leslie and the Machers were an adoptive family. So how this theory explains this, I guess, is Anna's character and Stu would have grown up in the mental asylum located in Pine Grove that's supposed to be crucial to 7's story. Stu got adopted and Anna stayed until she reached a certain age, I guess. Later on in her adult life, she's just trying to finish what her brother started, which is what sparked this latest Ghostface spree with Sidney Prescott at the center of it all. That is so lackluster because it's a little too game over Charles for my taste. My Pretty Little Liars fans will understand that last comment. It just sounds so asinine to think Sidney conveniently moved to the town where Stu actually grew up inside of a nut house. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels very forced and very, well, what can we do with Stu to please the Stu fans? Here's a tip. You shouldn't have done a damn thing. But yeah, I completely reject that theory as it sounds completely convenient, way too convenient. And it just would probably make people rag on Scream 7 even more, because why did you introduce a sister only to then say, well, that's just his adoptive sister? It's just completely stupid. It's very stupid. And I don't see Guy Busick doing something like that, let alone Kevin Williamson doing something like that and thinking that would go over well with the audience. As far as this next theory, which is far more digestible, something I've shared on my channel before, what if Anna Camp's character, who again is Sidney's best friend named Jessica, poses as Stu's sister Leslie in an effort to recruit a couple of Stuthers to assist her? But why? Well, she's a big fan of Sidney, the final girl, and would like to see Sidney in action once again. You guys have heard me talk about this countless times. You've heard me put it up on a community post. I put it up on Twitter a few times. But this angle pokes fun at the audience too, since many people sitting down will insist that Sidney is Scream and you cannot do it without her. An objectively false notion, but you get the point. Jessica wants to see Sidney at her best, so she tapped into all the best hits. The AI stuff with Dewey being involved, Roman, Stu, and a lot of other past traumas that arguably was Sidney at her best in this person's mind. Make Sidney believe Stu was alive, toy with her psyche, do all the things that made you a fan of Sidney Prescott, all in an effort to see the ultimate final girl in action. Once that part is done, you reveal yourself and see if you can be the one Ghostface who manages to knock her off. Now, some of you have already shared that you think an angle like that would be great, and I don't disagree. If people in the fandom are this upset about Sidney getting the happy ending she deserves while embracing a new protagonist, why wouldn't someone in the Scream universe potentially be just like all of you who want to see Sidney? Someone who can't stand that Sam Carpenter stole the spotlight, Gail's writing books about her, she's all over Reddit threads, center of conspiracy, etc. All of that should be Sidney's in this person's eyes. So what better way for Sidney to reclaim her spot than by you orchestrating a new spree? I really don't see a problem with this if it's executed well enough, because so many people have these, you guys know who they are. You know who these people are. They have these unhealthy parasocial relationships with Neve, Sidney, the franchise in general. So while it is similar to Scream 5, there's enough that's different for it to work in Scream 7. I wouldn't take issue with this at all. I wouldn't take an issue with it at all whatsoever. I do know that when it comes to Anna Camp and her casting, people have just been saying, oh, it's her, it's got to be her. And then they want to come out on the other end of the film saying, oh, well, that was just too predictable. Was it? Was it too predictable? Or is it time for us as seasoned veteran fans to be able to come together, be honest with ourselves, and say that we shouldn't be going into these movies expecting to be shocked? Because if you called out who Ghostface is just from the moment they were announced to be part of the cast, there is no surprising you. There is no surprising you. And because the average person, they're not doing that. The average person did not see Anna Camp's name attached to Scream 7 and go, yep, that's Ghostface, and then sit down and watch the movie and go, oh, see, I told you these movies are all so predictable. Of course it's getting predictable for a lot of us. We aren't newbies. We've been exposed to this formula time and time again. I'm more interested in whether I can rewatch the movie and it makes sense for this person to be behind the mask, or if you just did a reveal purely for shock value and it crumbles upon rewatching. None of the Scream films have a reveal that feels completely out of left field to the point that you don't believe it was that character who did it, minus the discussion around height and strength. I really do want them to tackle a Sydney fanatic though. It feels like the most appropriate thing to do for a movie that many are calling a true legacy sequel. Her posing as Leslie Macher to recruit Stoothers might not go over well with some, but those people will be fine. If it is Anna Camp, it'd be the first time one of Sydney's best friends were the killer too, if I'm not mistaken. Tatum didn't happen in Scream. Hallie didn't happen in Scream 2. We didn't have many bestie types in Scream 3, 4, or 5, so this would be somewhat of a fresh reveal. But the Asylum sibling theory that I've been seeing online, nah. That just gives me way too many Game Over Charles vibes, and that is one of the worst episodes of television. An extreme case of a parasocial relationship that sparks a new Ghostface spree for Sydney to reclaim her spot as the final girl doesn't sound bad at all. That sounds very appropriate for where we are right now in this franchise. It sounds tapped into the internet culture, just like 4 through 6 have been. So if on the flip side of this, there's a lot of fan outrage over it, I mean, again, it depends on how it was executed, but for as deep as we are in the franchise, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? It is very meta. It acknowledges what happened in November of 2023. Don't do it in a distasteful way, but it at least is very meta. It acknowledges what happened with the franchise in November 2023, and it acknowledges this idea that Sidney Prescott is Scream, and so many people do not want to let go of her. Why not put this in the form of a new Ghostface? Why not make that their motivation? And if I look past all of that and how predictable it might have been, Anna Camp would absolutely crush it. She would give one of the best post-Ghostface reveal performances we've seen in the franchise to date. She would give Laurie Metcalf, who I would argue gives the best post-Ghostface reveal performance, she would give that woman a run for her money. She did such a great job in You Season 5 with that dual performance that once the mask comes off, and if it's her, I'm not going to be disappointed because I have a phenomenal performance to look forward to. You couple that with Neve Campbell, oh my gosh. The performances would be top-notch. If they direct it well, Kevin Williamson, there is no way in hell Anna Camp and Neve Campbell should not deliver one of the best post-Ghostface reveal performances. With both of their acting chops, come on now. That sounds like heaven to me. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, and never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course. Let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.